6. Call Leominster Planning Board to order December 2nd, 2019, 6:30. Our first hearing and continued open public meeting for site plan approval for 133 Nashua Street. They requested a continuance. Okay. I need a motion to continue this open public. A motion made and seconded to continue to the 16th?
Yeah.
What time? December 16th.
We have available, Mary Avenue's at 6:30, so anything after 6:30 is available.
6:35.
Sounds good.
Motion made and seconded to continue to December 16th at 6:35. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. Continued public hearing for special permit approval for 133 Nashua Street for use. We also have a request to continue that. That would be the December 16th at 6:36.
Well,
So
16.
moved.
Moved by Sal, seconded by Fred. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Call to order.
Fred Fredericks,
Here.
Patrick Perla, excused. Paul Weiser, excused. Salvatore Ciccone,
Here.
Excused.
For you.
John Souza,
Here.
Carol Vittorioso,
Here.
Thomas Kergner.
Here.
Okay. Minutes.
Make a
October
motion to-
21st.
Make a motion to accept them.
Motion made and seconded to accept the minutes October 21st. Do we have any additions, deletions, questions? Here none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Approved. Plan submitted, site plan approval for 401 Lancaster Street, map 356, parcel 12. To be scheduled.
Yep, this is for a storage, I'm sorry, this is for LATV. We have a representative here.
LTV,
Yep, they want to move to a new location.
okay.
So we have available at site plan, we could do,
Do that on the 16th.
we could do that.
That could be a long one.
Are you the least the end of?
So far we have Mary Avenue and 133 Nashua Street on the 16th.
So we make that 6:40.
6:40. So moved.
Motion made and seconded for 6:40 on December 16th. Any discussion? There are none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. 3.2, site plan approval, Townsville Road, map 320, parcel. And what is this?
This is a storage facility and showroom.
Showroom?
Yes,
Okay, requires a site plan.
requires a site plan.
Okay, we're gonna do that for the 16th also?
We can, we have 6,
Well, let's push that out to the first meeting.
it came in, well, up to you.
Let's not kill the 16th, let's push it.
Well, if we can get it done this year, then it's all one more. That, what we got so far is not, it's light. So I think we do
We
it.
got 4. So
You have Mary Avenue, which might be continued.
It might be.
Might be continued.
We don't know.
So then we have 133 Nashua Street, which you already reviewed, and you just have some follow-up.
Yeah.
And then 401 Lancaster is LATV relocating.
Let's do it on
Pretty
the 16th.
straightforward.
6:38.
No, it can't be, it's already 6:40, I guess.
Oh, sorry.
We have
6:45.
6:45.
Site plan approval, Townsville Road, 6:45, December 16th. I have a motion by Sal, seconded by Tom. All say aye, all say no, motion carries. Continued, site plan approval for 133 Nashua Street.
Just continue.
That was the request that was made and the board
Yeah,
voted
so-
to.
That's all, that's been moved, that's continued, that's continued, so we're on the new business done, communications. Modification site plan approval for proposed multifamily dwelling, Richard Road and Montrose Street. Okay, do we have a presentation on that?
Michelangelo, I'm here on behalf of Geronimo Properties. Laura King is also here from Geronimo Properties.
Okay.
This is a property that we had received special permit and site plan review earlier this year. And subsequent to the approval, the property owner requested, is there an option to put in garages? They had gone out to bid the project, and the feedback they were getting from prospective tenants was, we would like to have a garage. And obviously, on a day like today, who doesn't want to have their car in a garage? So we looked at it and we're like, well, if we do this, it's still within the special permit use. There's no change to that aspect of the permit, but there's a slight modification to the approved site plan.
Right.
So here we have to accommodate what we had previously was a narrower unit, and to provide a garage bay for each unit, you need to add some width. And when the architect was going through it, well, with the width, now these changed from 2-bedroom to 3-bedroom. And at the end, I understand that they're looking to make them condos. Is that correct?
Yes, may I speak to that a little bit?
Sure.
Sure. Please identify yourself.
Laura O'Kane, Geronimo Properties, I should know.
Thank you.
When we did the market research, the demand was more for 3 bedrooms than 2 bedrooms. So that was
Okay.
another thing that we found out.
So, what they asked us to do, what are the parameters, what can we fit on the property, and with the zoning setbacks and keeping the street setbacks, this is what the architect had come up with a box. So, we're adding a bedroom and we're adding a garage bay to each unit. From a parking perspective, we satisfy the zoning. We have 1 parking space provided in each garage bay, and then there's additional parking provided in the existing
On the side, yeah, right.
on the existing pave. So that, yeah, this, and what we ended up doing was that previously the parking spaces that were here, we're now just providing them within the store, and this ends up being just snow storage.
Yeah, okay. So there could be a dumpster there or anything, or?
Yeah, we had proposed previously a dumpster. Now that you have a garage, you have a place to put your own rubbish barrels.
Mhm.
Your site.
You didn't have driveways before, right?
No, we didn't have driveways before. It was, yeah, the original.
Yeah, there was no.
The original, all the parking was on the side.
Right, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, this was the original.
How much width was added? How many feet?
The units went from,
If you look at, there's a legal description on the staff memo that I wrote. If you
okay,
want to refer to that, it talks about this.
just like the unit itself went from 20, went from 21
that-
feet
That refers to the past.
to 25 feet for the unit.
Say again, excuse me?
From 21 feet to 25 feet.
So you're only 4 feet wide.
Yeah,
And how long are the proposed driveways in front of the bays, to the road?
You got about 27 feet, I think, there, 25 feet to the pavement.
Yep.
Not to the property line.
Right.
Is there a
No, you just wanna make sure they're long enough to get things
The
out
full
of the road.
yeah.
Because you got a road here.
We're at
I mean, that's all I'm looking at, is just, how long are they? Because people are gonna
30,
fill up
you got
their
30.
garages and park in their driveways.
you have about 32 to 33 feet to
Yeah,
get to
33 feet, okay.
That's good. Because human nature. Garage gets out, driveway becomes the garage.
Mhm. Garages become storage areas. Yep, okay.
Yeah, it's 4 feet, and then you
So
see.
you probably didn't have much living space because you took all that space
That is correct. Correct.
out. More.
But because previously we were
How deep are those houses?
25.
25?
25 wide, 50
25
deep.
wide.
What's that?
50 feet long
Oh,
for the
oh, yeah,
extreme.
25 deep.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, you get a car in there, you get your track barrels too.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, those are bigger
Yeah.
than, Chapman.
The garage
18
is
feet
14
is the
by
standard
22, so.
length
Eight,
For
yeah.
22, 22.
for a parallel
and
space.
Yeah, but the limousine that you Okay. Okay.
Storage, do we have to, say
No.
that it's a minor modification first?
Yeah, we have to vote that it's a
What
minor one.
about the planning director does not recommend the removal of the proposed lights? Is that,
That was a request that the applicant had made, and I recall the discussions from the previous.
the light poles?
Yeah.
Where the light poles going before?
Before, there's a light pole here, a light pole here.
And right there.
Before we had parking areas here. Like in here, the buildings now have, well, you have your lighting around your garages, around each of the doorways and then along the front.
Don't you need some lighting for that parking? So, 4, 8.
Well, you gotta be careful, because you can shine in that lighting.
That was, I didn't want to leave the pole here because that's
Yeah.
right in your bedroom. So, from that aspect.
And no lighting is gonna be shining toward the Albert property, correct?
Nope.
We probably should have some low lighting in the parking lot, though. It'd be pretty dark.
Yeah, there's some lighting for the existing TAC building.
Right.
I don't know how you feel about
But
having a light pole.
It's not an issue.
Not an issue if we don't want to provide a light pole, but I would, if we're gonna provide
I'd
one.
put it out in the front corner there.
For corner, the only, we got some street trees.
Oh, how about the far corner?
In here,
Over here? Down,
here,
no, in the front, over there.
this
Yeah,
area?
but then you gotta shine it toward the back properties to fill the light.
Well, that's the lights going down, straight down.
Yeah, but then you still gotta eliminate the lot, right? Fred, I mean, I
No,
thought that
that's
too,
true.
but, you know, I just.
One could be provided. I was just, again,
Yeah,
Just,
as we've gone wider, the space for the pole is gonna be really close to the structure, so I mean, that's, my concern was is that the lighting in your bedroom.
Yeah.
And having the residual lighting from the doorway light, obviously, this person doesn't have control over this light, but typically your lights are gonna be on.
there is lighting, I mean, you're feeding off the back, you're feeding off all the other lighting that's already there, right? In that
Excuse
way,
me?
you're feeding off the other lighting that's already there.
Right, you have a commercial
Right.
property here, street lighting and other
Yeah.
residual lighting, so I mean, it's not,
It's not like it's
Like
gonna
here
be
in a-
dark.
Well, they each have
It's not like my house.
sorry. So there's a, for a deck. Landing. Two rooms of egress. So the applicant is open to adding.
Okay, I think we're all set.
Okay.
Do I have anyone in the audience who wishes to speak? Any snowbirds out there? I don't see any. Okay. Any other questions from the board?
make a motion to close the hearing.
It's not a hearing.
Not a hearing.
No.
Make a motion that it's a minor.
Minor modification.
Minor
Okay.
modification.
Motion is made by Carol to accept this as a minor modification.
That's okay.
Fred made it. Fred made
Oh,
it.
Fred,
Second.
Fred and Carol,
There you go.
okay?
Doesn't matter.
And as proposed? As proposed. All in favor, say aye. Any further discussion? No. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you just voted it to say it was a minor, did you vote to prove it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I hear you.
Motion to approve with,
Right.
with the addition of the light pole.
With the light bulb.
a second.
That was on the previous design.
Yes.
Mhm.
Let's put that on.
Second. Oh, you.
There it is.
That was
All
done.
right, that's good.
Vote.
Yes, all in favor, say Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Scheduled public hearing.
Okay,
I'm just rushing today.
I'm confused now. Jeez, thank you
Good
guys.
night, be
thank
safe.
you.
Take care.
Take care. Drive carefully.
Public hearing for City Council petition 59-18. James Whitney has 10 registered voters to amend the zoning ordinance to add drive-through to all allowable uses under MU1 zoning. What was our recommendation for that?
I thought we recommended it.
Yeah.
So I can tell you what the clerk said. I know we have open, first of all, January 6th as an option for a public hearing. According to Caitlin Huffman, we have to redo the public hearings for the MU1 zoning ordinance that will allow drive-throughs in the area because our legal counsel did not get back in time. So it has gone over the 90-day period. We're holding our public hearing for it on December 9th at 6:40 p.m. And it'll need to go back on our agenda for public hearing as well, and that's why I suggested January 6th. Hopefully sooner rather than later. You were asking for the recommendation, and we have that.
Okay, so let's
January 6th,
Yeah,
6:30.
there you go. That's the
Second.
first one
So
on
we
the
need to
6th.
advertise it.
Yeah. Do we, is that gonna be for MU1 for everything?
He's saying everyone.
MU1,
Allowable use.
but that should be special permit
Well, that's what we're talking about.
for drive-through.
There's actually a whole packet.
It is a special permit,
It
It is,
is,
okay.
provided that a special permit is obtained through the planning board.
right,
Beautiful.
because, it doesn't say that on this. It's just the drive-through by right.
Yeah, it
Well-
says,
That's what it
Well,
looks like
that's
to
what,
me.
we'll schedule it and
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
it says it right, I think we probably had the same discussion. Voted to recommend approval, provided that a special permit is obtained through the planning board.
Yep.
So he probably asked for it the same way.
okay. That's gonna be scheduled and that'd be January 6th.
Yep.
January 6th.
6:30.
There we go.
Was it Fred?
Second.
Fred,
Fred, okay.
Motion made by Fred, seconded by
Karen.
Carol. All in favor say aye.
aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. Subdivision amendment for centralized delivery for new developments.
Okay. Sure?
Yeah.
Mail delivery?
Yeah,
Yeah,
as part of the
Would you like an update?
regulation.
I
Wait,
think
wait.
New subdivision.
we're gonna have to have a new subdivision regulation for this. Okay,
As they're going forward, they wanna do that?
It is an update.
Yep,
Postmaster came in.
yeah,
Right.
that's good. It makes a lot of sense, too.
John, I think Elizabeth.
well, there's a
has
couple of
update.
things that I discussed with her, Elizabeth on, was that, it's gotta go in the subdivision regulations, and it should be, and then they came back and said, I'd like to have it covered, so we're gonna have to have some kind of a plan to require some kind of, just shed type covering, and we'll have to specify that, so that'll have to be in the subdivision regulation. And the other thing is that we probably wanna have it, and we'll have, the discussion there would be on, for how many people. If I got a subdivision of 25 or 27, I'm like, okay, that's one. But if we have a large one that has 100,
Might want a couple of spots.
you might want a couple of spots.
They have to.
So yeah, is it 25, is it 50? The discussion you would have to have to discuss that. So that's the research that has to be done, and the regulation has to be written up to show that. And then we discuss it and we go forward.
I'm sure the postmaster has some information around that.
Yeah, you got some information?
Would you like an update?
Yes.
Just, I know that, Chair, we spoke about this, but for the rest of the board's information, I've been meeting with the postmaster twice since our last meeting. There has been a retirement of the previous gentleman that was here, and there's an interim postmaster in the position. His name is Christopher Downer, and I gave him an update as to what the board had decided at the last meeting with Richard Huey. And this postmaster is completely on board with what was previously decided and supports what the board wants to do. But he wants to take, as John said, he wants to take it another step further and have some other provisions. Now, he really wants, as the current postmaster, he really wants to come meet with the board to go over this. He's providing a written letter to me by the 10th, and he wants to come on the 16th. Because it's very important to him, and he has some new ideas that the other postmaster didn't have.
Okay.
Okay, so
It's
we'll
available.
have 16, right?
Yeah,
He's
the meeting,
available on the 16th.
Yep.
Yeah.
public meeting.
There must be something similar to that.
Okay.
So,
I know.
so we'll take and schedule that for the 16th.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
It's a public meeting,
Is that under
he did ask
communications or?
that,
or communications, it doesn't, either way,
yeah.
Under communications.
okay.
Okay, sounds good. And then we'll get the,
Yeah.
because the other communities been doing this a while, so we'll figure out how,
We've
what
done
they
it,
use
we've
it
done it
for.
in condo complexes,
Yeah, we do that, all the condo
it
complexes
makes
have it.
sense,
And
it's
there's
a lot
multiple,
quicker,
I think
Yeah.
it's great.
boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
And then you can sit there for 20
But like
minutes.
John said, you wanna see, what's the size cut? Even in condo units, there's so many boxes per, so many units.
You know, Liberty has a couple of spots
Yeah,
Yeah.
where they.
I don't know what the numbers are, we'd have to do
But
some
I'm sure they
investigation.
have-
Them is Mecca Walmart.
Right.
Oh, they got them everywhere, they have
There's
them in all
there's two or three
the,
of them there, I
Mhm.
all the
in
rental
front of a
apartments
building.
too, that's fine.
Right,
think, you know.
so it just means that we've gotta make it official and put it in the
That's
subdivision
a
regulations.
red.
And, okay,
Okay, that's good. It's on the 16th.
zoning amendments, I think the big thing that we gotta get is some way, somehow, we've gotta get, and we got an intern coming in, is there are so many amendments now to that book, that the book has gotta get updated,
Yep.
okay?
Yep.
And we really,
It's been on my priority.
yeah, and it's really gotta be a,
Classes.
and what's happened is there's so many, and you see one thing in one amendment, if you don't have all the amendments and go through it, it's very misleading, and cause you problems. So, so I think that's where we're gonna make an effort, okay?
So
I don't know if that's gonna be a budgeted item, or,
we've started to that end, because we talked about this before, and we worked on it last year. And what we did was I did some research, I looked, it sounds simple, it sounds like a simple formatting issue, but it's a lot more than that. The way the program works, it gets distorted when you make a change. So I don't know if it's something an intern can do, maybe it is, because we've got someone who's got graphic design experience and that sort of thing, so I can pitch it to her and give her a hack at it. But if not, there's a company that gave us a quote, and I have the information on that in a file. I can bring it to the board on the whenever the board would like, and then we can think about putting it in our budget. But we need to build a case for it because, last year was my first year with the budget. There's not everything I asked for got approved.
yeah, well, I
So we need
think
to make
this,
sure that this is important. This is something that we depend on. We need to have it resolved.
yeah, it's just not the way we've got it today, it's out of hand and it's not presentable.
It's not presentable.
So,
It's not
Okay.
professional.
sounds good.
So can you get that information for the 16th, and then
Yep.
we can see if we can, you get that quote, and we get that quote, and then we see what, and you talk to the intern and see what, do
She
you
might have-
remember how much the quote was? Do you have any idea?
It varied according to how there was tiers. So I'll bring the whole format.
Okay.
Yep. There was like a lowball end, but then there was more if the board wanted more.
Yeah. And if there's anything else, any other zoning things that we have to deal with, that would be the time to deal with them all.
Yep.
Because I'm sure there'll be, when we
Once
do
you-
that,
once
there'll be
not.
some corrections we're gonna find, so those corrections, even to dot and i's or cross the t's, we're all gonna have to go to the city council. Okay?
Yeah, do you want me to, I did some research as to a very good company to do it. Do you want just for kicks, do you want 3 quotes so we can compare? Because they're
I
not
think
all-
we do,
Okay,
yeah. I think if it's, I I think it's, if it's under 5,000, we can go with one quote. But if it's over 5,000, then you have to go with 3. I think that's the threshold in the city.
Sure it's more than 5,000. Check that.
But if there's a program, I mean, in our best case scenario, if there's a program, we can get the intern, and she can do that, then it would just be the cost of the program, because the intern,
Then we do it.
then we could do it that way.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Somebody can do
director's report.
Intern introduction.
Intern.
Oh, we're not.
Alright.
Yes,
Oh,
due to
intro
this, due to
introduction.
the snow, I will give you a brief introduction now. We've got Bianca Law joining us. She's got a schedule that will allow her to attend planning board meetings. She's working for her master's degree. She's got specialties in communications and design and things such as formatting the zoning ordinance, which might be a possibility, as we discussed. And she wants to work, she wants to switch gears and learn more about government and planning. And this is her first stop in doing that. But she has skills that our department could use, that the board could use. And I'll let her introduce herself at the next meeting on the 16th.
Sure.
And you can pick her brain for.
Keep on Pittsburgh.
She's from Leominster. She knows Leominster. She's not originally from Fitchburg State, but her master's degree, I believe it. Yeah,
Good. Sounds like we're moving along.
very bright young lady.
7.0.
7.0, director's report.
We skipped. Did you want to speak further on 6.4?
I thought we did.
There's a whole memo on that in your packet.
On
Did
what?
you want to?
On 6.1?
Of all the things.
6.4, I mean, there's a,
Requested
I don't
topic.
know if you want to open this can of worms tonight,
No.
No.
or if you want me to work on getting subcommittees.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's interest among the board. I mean, for example, the floodplain amendment, I can work on a subcommittee with that with Joy
mhm.
Duperalt. And I don't know if a board member wants to jump in on that as well. The 5-foot sidewalk width item, this is the memo I did at 11/27. I kind of went down some of the items that we were gonna be working on.
Okay,
That's pretty basic. I don't think we need a full subcommittee on that. That's something I can draft language and the board can do at a regular meeting. Solar regulations for residential. I have the gentleman who came before the board, Stephen Coffrin, who's a resident in town. He wants to be part of a subcommittee on that. And then the economic development coordinator wants to be on a, work with us for suggestions she has, as well as the building commissioner. And then there might be other things that the board would like to work on. It's a good time to do it, especially if we're going to be correcting our book this year. And then there's some backup paperwork to go with the memo.
okay. I think we're in. Okay,
So we need to get rolling on these, definitely in 2020.
yeah. Well, that's always, it's an ongoing, but if we can get that thing with the intern going, then we can tie that in with the
With
other
this.
changes, you know,
Yeah, we can do that.
then we're good.
I just had a quick question.
Yeah,
Some of these, remember we had that whole thing about signs, the color ones and, you know, broadcast? And
Yeah.
You couldn't have a blue one, right? There was something.
Could have a red one.
A red one?
can't be red,
I thought there was something about blue too.
no, it could be
For the
blue.
police. Well, I've just seen more blue ones and more, and more.
I thought
Well,
we
they don't-
changed that. That
nobody-
was like our old,
Yeah. Is that?
Sign
like
ordinance
near-
has changed.
Yeah, well, I was just curious, because I'm seeing more of that.
Everybody's putting them up now.
Yeah, they just put them up. They just-
I just don't wanna have people putting illegal things up and have to take it
That's
down.
right, it's like
Right.
BBB.
Yeah, they're putting them up and
They don't even check.
they're not even getting a building permit.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
So it's an enforcement,
There
yeah.
was colors like next to a stoplight or a stop sign.
Yeah.
You couldn't
signs
have
may
red.
be illuminated either internally through the use of some sort of translucent materials with lights behind, etc., provided that these colored lighting, open flame, or bare bulbs may not be used,
Okay.
So it's all digital.
provided that the type of
So it's
illumination
digital, okay.
does not distract from the building's architecture. All lighted signs must be lighted by continuous light and contain a factory-applied label supplied to the manufacturer and controlled by an approved testing agency. They cannot cause glare to motorists. So we did change that from, no sign may contain red or green lights if such colors would, in the opinion of the chief of police, constitute a driving hazard.
There you go.
Right,
That's for your stoplights.
That's already integrated?
Yeah.
It's in there.
okay. I was just curious, because some of them are bright.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right at the cars going through. You're getting their message.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
And then in front of you, I did some research as well on definitions of solar and wind. I have something that anybody can use at any time. It's called a planner's dictionary. It's issued by the American Planning Association. And any item that we don't have defined in our regulations, I have a resource that we can look to for guidance. We don't have to use it, but it's something there for us if we need it. The chair had mentioned that I should look up definitions for solar and wind, because that was one of the items in zoning that we need to address. So, does
It was
it,
just,
something for you to take?
yeah, well, there was confusion on that last one because there's an amendment in there that says renewable, and it's not, energy not allowed in residential A. But what they were doing was referring, it was a whole mix-up. It's solar, okay, and not renewable energy. Renewable energy was wind turbines,
Right.
okay? So those aren't allowed in residential, but so we just, the definitions got interchanged.
Okay.
So we just wanted to make sure that we looked at a good definition here for wind turbines and for solar, and made sure that we went through the book before we made the changes, that we get those squared away so that we didn't have any more confusion.
Makes sense.
So it's a housekeeping
Yeah.
type thing.
Good.
So digest it, and then when we have our next discussion on this,
We'll be smart.
you'll have some opinions.
Yes.
Smart. Not likely, but be informed, we'll be informed.
We'll be informed
We have a full agenda on the,
on the 16th.
16th. Do you wanna have this on the 6th?
Sure.
Yeah, this can be moved up to
Start
the
the new
6th.
year out with,
Yeah, move that out to January.
okay.
Okay,
That's it.
no executive session?
Motion to
You had,
adjourn.
well, I just want to make sure Elizabeth had everything covered that she wanted to cover.
I do have it all covered. Do we
Okay,
have anything else?
Motion to
Questions?
adjourn.
sounds good, here's a
Motion to
motion.
adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. By Sal, seconded by
Everybody
Tom.
Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.